minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Webster and Ranking Member Titus, for holding this hearing today, and thank you to our witnesses for your testimony and insight and the sacrifices you made to be here. I want to especially thank Mr. Dietrich from the Ohio Rail Development Commission for testifying before the committee on Ohio's successes in growing its rail industry and increasing rail safety in our great state. Ohio has 44 operating railroads and over 5,000 miles of track, making Ohio the third largest rail infrastructure state in the nation. With Ohio's presence in the rail industry, it is vital that when Ohio receives federal grants, the funds are delivered promptly. Mr. Dietrich, in your testimony, you mentioned how grant applications require a great amount of time and resources to compile. As I'm sure you are aware, many rural communities across southern Ohio do not have the resources to hire grant writers. Can you elaborate on how the state of Ohio has been able to help rural communities receive federal dollars from the Federal Railroad Administration?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, to Representative. Actually, it goes along with our other question. We actually set up a program where communities and railroads will apply to us, and we will then be the applicant. We will take on responsibility for the grants administration. We were just successful. Circleville, we just received an RCE grant for that, and we're going to administer that for them. We're working with Haverhill right now down in Sauter County to do through that same process. And that was enabled because the governor provided us the state funds, so we can do the planning, we can do the studies that communities don't have the resources to apply for. They don't even have the resources to apply for the grants. So that's the role that we're playing to help the rural communities.
Okay. Well, as Congressman Fong stated, the Ohio government is surely more trustworthy than the California ones, but how are we going to help the rural communities outside of Ohio is there something Congress can do to make it easier for them to get grants?
Mr. Chairman, Congressman, the only thing I can think of is possibly some training to administer. There is programs under federal, under FHWA formula funds, the LPA program, local program assistance programs that provide training and things like that to local communities, and I think that would be something that could be done.
Thank you. Ohio has over 500 miles of short-line rail that delivers critical goods to businesses and communities. Short-line railroads across the state and country often rely on CRISI grants for infrastructure improvements, safety enhancements, and workforce development. Ms. Bevel, in your experience, how have CRISI investments benefited railroads and surrounding local communities in terms of economic growth and public safety?
Thank you for the question. In my experience, we have a railroad in Mississippi, actually the Grenada Railroad, that we partnered with local mayor of the city of Hernando, as well as 6 other mayors, to apply for a CRISI grant in the last round that was awarded. And that grant will expand capacity, which will eliminate blocked crossings and also upgrade numerous crossings across these small towns in Mississippi. That's a way that we've really partnered with the locals to promote public safety.
Thank you. Mr. Dietrich, again, we've talked a lot about the NEPA process in here today. Do you have an idea of how Ohio administering the NEPA process itself, how much that sped up the process of getting permits out?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congressman, we just received it in December, so we're just embarking on that. We anticipate that it will, I can't give you a timeline because, as Ms. Bevel said, a lot of the freight projects are just low-level CEs, so they're going to be on a project basis. The low-level CEs, I think we'll be able to process, almost batch them out, I think, especially if they don't involve railroad right-of-way. So there's going to be an immense amount of time savings on those projects. The larger grade crossing elimination projects with real estate acquisition, things like that, those would still be more on timeline. Our anticipation is they'll be more on timeline as if they were FHWA or just standard ODOT-led projects.
Okay. Thank you all very much, and yield back.